Abusuafo mekyea mu nyina megye se obia hoye. Today we are looking at how to negate twi verbs. This is one of the most important set of grammar lessons there is. So I entreat you all to approach this with all seriousness. Another very important set of grammar lessons that we have on this channel is that on the tenses. So if you are not following that series, I'll leave a link up here to the whole playlist. Please go and check it out. I'm sure you all know what we mean by negation. It just means turning a positive verb into the negative. Okay, so you have an affirmative verb and then you turn it into the negative. For example, if you have a sentence like Kofi goes to school, right? Kofi goes to school. The verb here is to go. And as you can see from the sentence, this is in the positive state. So we are saying Kofi goes to school. So it's something that he actually does, right? Now to turn this into the negative, we'll have Kofi does not go to school, right? Kofi does not go to school. So we introduce not after the auxiliary does to do, right? And then we have Kofi does not go to school. Now, it's very simple to form the negative of twi verbs. We have two main ways of doing it. It's either you attach the letter as in M at the front of the verb and you attach it so it's not split, right? It's either you attach M, the letter at the front of the verb, or you attach the letter as in N at the front of the verb. Okay, so basically it's one way. We just attach either or to the front of the verb. And you have the negative. Now the question to ask is, when do we get to attach the letter as in M? And when do we get to attach the letter as in N? And that is what brings us to the two ways that we form the negative. And in today's lesson, we are focusing on the okay? So we are looking at when we get to attach to the front of the verb in order to form its negative. And in our next lesson, we'll look at, all the others that take the Now, if you come across a twi verb that starts with the letter b, p, or f, and it's just 4 letters, so it's easy to keep, all right? So if you come across any twi verb that starts with any of these letters, as in M, B, P, or F, you attach to the front of that verb to form its negative. Let me repeat that. So what I'm saying is, if you come across a twi verb that starts with any of these 4 letters, so b, p, or f, as in M, B, P, or F, you simply attach as in M to the front of that verb and you have its negative. It's that simple. Let's see some examples. For the first example, let's take the verb ma, which is to give. This is a 2-letter word, which means it will have several other meanings. But for the sake of this example, let's focus on the to give meaning. Okay, so we have ma here as to give. So we can use this in a sentence like, me papa mami sika. Okay, me papa mami sika. My father gives me money. So as you can see, this is a positive sentence. My father does give me what? Money. Okay? Now, as you can see, the verb starts with the letter and I told you if the verb starts with b, p, or f, then you attach to the front to form its negative. So to form the negative of ma, to give, you just bring before it and we have ma. Okay? So you sort of stretch the bit, right? So you have ma, right? And that means to not give. So we can use this to negate the sentence that we had, the positive sentence that we had, which was me papa mami sika, right? Into me papa mami sika. Me papa mami sika. My father does not give me money. It's that simple. Let's see another example. This time, let's use the verb pra, which is to sweep. Okay, pra. So we can use this in a positive sentence like ama praha. Okay, ama praha. Ama sweeps here. So it's positive. It's something that ama does, right? And as you can see, the verb starts with the letter P, as in P, right? And it's part of the four that we listed. B, P, F, right? MBPF. So to form the negative of this verb pra, you simply attach to the front of the verb, and you have pra to not sweep, okay? So to use this to negate the positive sentence that we had, amapraha, we'll have amampraha. Amampraha. Ama does not sweep here. Amampraha, okay? Let's see another example. This time, let's use the verb fre, okay? Fre, which is to call. Now, as you can see, the verb starts with the letter F, which is part of the four that we listed. So putting this in a positive sentence, we can have maame no frɛ me or say. Maame no frɛ me or say. The woman calls me or say. Okay, so as you can see, this is a positive sentence, right? Maame no frɛ me or say. Now, to negate the verb frɛ, we simply attach to the front of it, and we have frɛ. Frɛ, to not call. So if we use this to negate the positive sentence maame no frɛ me or say, we will have maame no mfrɛ me or say. Maame no mfrɛ me or say. Okay, maame no mfrɛ me or say. The woman does not call me or say. Let's see another example. This time we are using a verb that starts with the letter P, as in P, okay? And the verb here is P, which is to go out, okay? P. So to use this in a positive sentence, we'll have yepia najo. Yepia najo. We go out at night, okay? Yepia najo. Now to form the negative of this verb, since it starts with P, as in P, which is part of the four that we listed, you just bring before it, and then we have mpie. So if we use this to negate the positive sentence that we had, it will change into yempianajo. Yempianajo. Okay? Yempianajo. We don't go out at night. Another verb that starts with the letter P, as in P, that we can use here is peja. Peja, and that is to lift, right? Peja. So we can say abrantie no peja nadie. Abrantie no peja nadie. The young man lifts metals, right? Abrantie no peja nadie. So as you can see, this is in a positive state. And since the verb is starting with the letter P, as in P, we simply attach to the front of it, and we have the negative form. So we have mpeja. Mpeja. So the sentence will change into the negative as abrantie no mpeja nadie. Abrantie no mpeja nadie. Now, so far in our examples, we've not looked at any verb that starts with the letter B, as in B, right? And I intentionally skipped that for the time being because, yes, while, it does follow the same process, so you just attach to the front of a verb that starts with the letter B, right? We tend to add an extra process after it. It's not compulsory, but it's a tendency. We tend to add what we call assimilation after we are done attaching the to the front of the verb. Let's use an example. So a verb like bo, okay, bo, which can mean to play or to kick, right? Now, as you can see, it starts with the letter B, right? So we can use this in a sentence like Kofi bobolo, right? Kofi bobolo. Kofi plays football. Now, since the verb starts with the letter B, we simply attach to the front of the verb, and then we have the negative form. So bo becomes bo, right? Bo. So the positive sentence, Kofi bobolo, Kofi plays football, will become Kofi bobolo, right? Kofi bobolo. And you can use this. You can say this with no problem at all. In fact, in Ghana, you hear a lot of people just say that. But there is this phenomenon in Twi that we call assimilation. I believe it's also in English, but let's focus on Twi. So all that assimilation does is it allows for easier pronunciation. So there are certain sounds that when they come into contact with each other, it's very difficult to pronounce. because they are produced from different parts of the mouth. So it makes it difficult to pronounce. And when that happens, assimilation sets in to, make some sort of changes to allow for easier pronunciation. We are going to delve into assimilation in a bit more detail later. But for now, note this. In Twi, mostly when precedes b, right? If you come across preceding b, in most cases, you find that the will assimilate the b, as in the will cause the b to change into as well, so that it's easy to pronounce. It's not compulsory. Like I said, in Ghana, it's not always that you find these sequences being assimilated. Okay, so whether you assimilate or not will still get you, but this is a tendency, especially in Kumasi. So I want you to note this so that you'll be able to hear people properly when they actually assimilate. All right. So going back to our example, we had the positive sentence as Kofi Bobolo. Kofi plays football, right? And then we had the negative as Kofi Mbolo, right? And while this is okay, you can also hear Kofi Mbolo. And this is when we assimilate, right? And by the way, in terms of writing, this is the standard. So if you check with the Bible, and all standard literature, you'll find that the sequences that are supposed to be assimilated are actually assimilated. So in terms of writing, you are better off assimilating. But when it comes to speech, you can skip it and it will still get you. Let's see another example with a verb that starts with the letter B. Let's use the verb be. Be, and be means to open, okay? So if we put this in the positive sentence, we can have Esiedu bie apono ma ahoho. Esiedu bie apono ma ahoho. Esiedu bie apono ma ahoho. Okay? So the verb here is be, which starts with the letter B. So to form the negative, we simply attach to the front, and we have bie, right? Bie. So we can have Esiedu bie apono ma ahoho. Esiedu mbie apono mma ahoho. And if we go on to assimilate, we'll have Esiedu mie apono mma ahoho. Esiedu mie apono mma ahoho. Esiedu mie apono mma ahoho.